Hey Amazement fans, and welcome back to Ion Amazement. Today I'm going to teach you how to make the most divine homemade strawberry lemonade ever, or how to make the perfect strawberry lemonade. The ingredients you'll need for today is going to be strawberries, either freeze-dried or organic, sometimes even organic freeze-dried. I'm going to be using freeze-dried strawberries because it doesn't add any extra moisture and the leaf is already gotten off. I bought them from Whole Foods Market. And you're gonna need store-bought or homemade lemonade. I also bought my store-bought lemonade from Whole Foods Market because I didn't want to do homemade lemonade. It's just like the sugar gets stuck on the bottom and then everything happens and it's crazy. And then ice, which is optional. And then you're gonna need a blender to make the strawberry puree, which I'll show you later. But you're gonna need a blender, not a juicer. A blender has little knives on the bottom to cut everything up and make smoothies and things like that. A juicer is just to take the juice out of it. So you're gonna need a blender. Hey guys, now I'm gonna show you how to make this incredible drink. So here's my store-bought lemonade. It's completely organic. Here's my strawberries, freeze-dried or frozen, completely organic. Here's my blender. I don't know if you guys can see it too well, but I'll show you later. Here is my sort of tongs thing to grab the strawberries from the bag. They're not exactly tongs, but they're just like to grab the strawberries from the bag. I forget the name. Here is my knife and then my cutting board. So the first thing you're going to do is take some strawberries. Depending on how much you want to make, you might want to take from about, I'd say somewhat like 10 if you want to make like 2 cups. And then a little more if you want to just like go up. I think 5 strawberries a cup is usually my measurements. That's how I do it off camera when I'm not on camera doing these things. But that's how you'll do it. Today is June 2nd of 2024, and I just got the new camera I was telling you about. So it's going to get here tomorrow. I'm really excited. But to put that aside, you're just going to grab some strawberries, whether they're classic, and by classic, I mean not frozen, or whether they're frozen like me. I prefer frozen ones because I feel like it's easier to use because they don't have any moisture. I'll show you one right now, but you can see the top gross green leaf part is already off. It doesn't add any moisture. Here you can see like the little white stuff, which is ice. And it just makes a lot of things easier in my opinion. So after you've gotten the amount that you need, you can do a little more. So I'm going to count mine now. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is perfect. And then if I need more, I can always add more. So what I'm going to do with these now is I'm going to see if I can cut them. But sometimes if they're frozen, they're a little hard to cut. I'm going to see. Yes, I can. So I'm just going to cut them in thirds. And then after you've cut them, make sure you wash your hands. And that way you can grab them. And then you're going to just use this. And I'm just going to put it in my blender like that. You might want to do it fast so that they don't melt. And then as soon as you're done with your frozen strawberries, make sure you put them right back in the freezer so that they don't unfreeze. Now I'm going to give you a second to do that while I do mine. Now I have finished dicing my strawberries and putting them into my bowl. My blender, make sure that if you are a minor or you don't know how to use a knife or you don't feel comfortable, or even just cause, make sure you have an adult supervising you. And that way, when you're using the knife to dice the strawberries, you don't have to dice the strawberries. I just recommend it because it kind of helps blend them a little more. So if you want, you can just do lemonade. I'm going to put a teensy bit of hot water to help it break down the last few bits of ice. I put 3 extra strawberries in mine because it looked a little low. So now I'm going to put some water in mine, and now I'm going to also put some lemonade, and then I can blend it all together. And then that will be the puree that I can mix. You don't have to put lemonade into the strawberries and then let that mix. I just like to do it sometimes because it kind of helps. But the strawberry puree itself is really just the strawberries and some water. So you don't have to. I just like to do it because it helps mix it a little bit better. But if you want, you can just do the strawberry puree and then you can mix that with the lemonade and the ice later. It's completely up to you, whatever you want to do. I just recommend mixing it all together because then in the blender, it kind of makes it a little bit better. So now I'm just going to do my lemonade. And I'm going to do it up to... So on my blender, I have some numbers. And these are cups. I don't know if you can see them too well right now. You see them? You probably can't. But I have numbers, so it goes right here where my finger is as 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. So I can put up to 6 cups in here. So I'm going to do about 2 cups of lemonade. And I'm going to use a measuring cup. But if you don't want to use a measuring cup or you don't have one, just fill the lemonade before the strawberries if you want, or just fill it a little bit higher. So these strawberries are going about up to number 1. So then if I want 2 cups and the strawberries are going up to number 1, I'd go up to number 3. I'd go just slightly higher because it's not super exact. So I'd go like 3.5. And then that's what I'd do if I don't have a measuring cup or if I've already put the strawberries in. But yeah, now I'm just going to grab my measuring cup right here. And this is 1 cup, as it says right here. Kind of see. So this is 1 cup right there. And then that's what I'm going to put the lemonade in. So I'm going to do 2 of these. So I'm just going to pour it into here. If you want, once it gets high, do it on top of the blender, or just start out doing it on top of the blender. That way any extra falls in the blender. So that's the 2 cups of lemonade I did. And now I'm going to put it on the machine. And I'm going to let it blend all together. You won't see this part. I'll skip it because it's super, super, super loud. But I'll show you. So on my blender, there's low, medium, and high. I don't know if you guys can see it. So, and there's smoothie here and salsa here. I'm going to set it to smoothie, and that goes through all the settings. If you have a different blender, my other blender was a little bit older, and it had like a bunch of different switches. So if you have like 10 switches, and it's like grind, salsa, smoothie, ice, or whatever, just do the first one for like 30 seconds to a minute, then do the second one for 30 seconds to a minute, then do the third one for 30 seconds to a minute, and then just keep going throughout that. And then that'll basically be the same thing. So I'm just going to put this on here, and then I'm going to put the lid on, and I'm going to blend it all together. You won't see this part, but you'll see the puree when I'm done. Pro tip, before you blend something, always check to make sure the lid is on. Because if the lid is off, then it's just going to go crazy, and it's going to go boom, 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 like a volcano. So always make sure the lid is on. Now I'm done. You really don't have to do low, medium, high, low, medium, high. You can just do like 15 seconds on smoothie mode if you have an Oster blender, which is the one I have. And now I'm done. So this is what it should look like. This is like sort of close to like what it should look like. Here, I'll show you now. So see, it's like the puree and then some bubbles at the top, some foam, and like the little strawberry bits. You don't want it to be completely liquidy because then it'll be like a little flavorless, but then you don't want it to be like not liquidy enough because then it will be like weird. So just make sure that you keep doing this and until it gets to like this consistency. Now I'm going to put it in something that's a little easier to pour. I'm going to do a measuring cup, and then it's going to be a little easier to pour. So right now, all I'm going to do is this is basically my lemonade. All I'm doing right now is just pouring my lemonade into a measuring cup to pour easier. So that way I can wash my blender while still having everything that I need. So here is my strawberry lemonade. It's beautiful, isn't it? It's a beautiful color. And this is how you make an all-natural, completely perfect strawberry lemonade in under 15 minutes. All right, well, bye guys. Hope you enjoy. Make sure to like and subscribe to Ion Amazement, because if you do, you'll have a lot more like this, such as classic lemonade and orange juice, etc. So make sure that you subscribe to Ion Amazement and hit that little bell for more notifications on videos that come out just like this. Bye! Enjoy! Delicious.